Babalik tayo dito sa Kababayan Today. Pinag-uusapan natin ang The Debut. Kasama natin ang filmmaker na si Gene Cajayon. Gene, one of the scenes from the film that I really had a great time watching was the dance scenes. Because it reminded me not only of, you know, what I see in the Philippines, the traditional dancing, but what I see when I join SPCNs here. And it's just such an amazing feeling to be in America and yet to be able to watch our culture. The scene that you showed, the dances, I still see very vividly in my head when they're doing tinikling and the flick of the close-up of the foot. This must have been very difficult to shoot because you're looking at a big number of people coming together for the party scenes as well as a lot of rehearsal time. So how was it like doing those scenes?
It was really about the preparation for the big cultural dance scenes, and we had a great partner, Joel Jacinto and Kayamanan ng Lahi, and the entire troupe there at Kayamanan ng Lahi really came together and did an amazing job. But you know, to get to that point, we shot the entire thing in an afternoon. But to be able to get to that point where you could shoot it that quickly required weeks and weeks of preparation time, and I'm very, very grateful to Kayamanan for what they did in helping us bring that to life.
It was so nice to watch. And just to be able to see yourself on screen is very powerful.
It is. That's the reason why, to this day, even though it was a very difficult experience, 11 long years from start to finish, I don't regret what we went through because we have something that will hopefully stand the test of time.
Let's take a look at that scene that I'm talking about in The Debut, the cultural dances. We just watched a clip from The Debut. Gene Cajayon's here talking to us about it. One other thing that I found really interesting about the film was the intergenerational conflict between the lolo and the father, as well as the father and the son. Eddie Garcia is an amazing actor. How was it like working with Eddie and Tirso Cruz? And how was the casting process like?
The casting process was long and involved, just the same as every other part of the production. But it worked out beautifully because I mean, as a first-time director, relatively inexperienced director, other than student films, it was my first large-scale project. Having those professional, experienced actors, veteran actors there, not just from the Philippines, but from here in the United States as well, with Dante Basco and Joy Visco, Bernadette Balagtas, they really helped us get through a very difficult shoot. If we had not had very experienced actors, I don't think we would have been able to make the movie that, I know we wouldn't have been able to make the movie that we made because it was their experience that got us through the tough times.
Okay, so let's take a look at the clip that I'm talking about with Eddie Garcia and Tirso Cruz III.
Bakit ka nag-imbita ng mga barumbanong tao rito? Pinabayaan mo lang mga hoodlums na yan. Halos mapatay nilang apo ko ah.
Pa, tama na.
Huwag mo akong pakialaman.
Kilala ko magulang ng batang yon. I didn't expect this to happen.
You did not expect because you didn't think! Anong klaseng magulang ka? Masyado kang pasikat. Kung hindi mo inuna ang pakanta-kanta, hindi mangyayari ito. Wala ka na bang respeto sa sarili mo? Ikinahiya ka ng pamilyang ito. Kung nakinig ka lang sa akin noon, hindi lang ito ang mararating mo. May napala ka ba doon? Wala. Ano ka ngayon? Kartero. Tagahatid ng sulat. Anak mo nga, hindi mo mabigyan na maayos na debut.
Pa, tama na. Tumahimik ka na.
Ikaw ang tumahimik!
Pa, nangako kayo na hindi natin pag-uusapan to. Kung nalaman ko na magwawala kayo, hindi ko na sana kayo dinala rito eh.
Leche! Wala ka na! Wala ka pagkalat sa ulan mo, ha?
Tama na, pa! Pa! Tama na! Pa! Tama na! Pa!
Gene, just wrapping up about the debut, what advice can you give to a lot of aspiring filmmakers out there that want to be able to tell our Filipino-American story and share that with the rest of the world?
I think I would concentrate on, if there's one thing that I look back on the debut now and wish that I had done differently, I wish that I had reduced the scale and the scope of the project and made it a smaller film and not spent as much money and made as big of a movie. The story probably would have done just as well in a smaller scale environment, a smaller, more intimate scale. And hopefully that's the kind of advice that I hope the younger filmmakers today pick up. Instead of trying to do something really big in scale with explosions and huge production value, it can be just as effective and just as interesting experiencing what happens between two characters in a room. So I would say focus on storytelling and drama and interpersonal relationships rather than trying to be as big as you want to be, because oftentimes that's not going to be as powerful as if you have a great scene between two genuine human characters.
Thank you so much, Gene, for coming to Kababayan today and talking about your film. I am genuinely a fan of yours, and thank you for all the support you've given me all these years as well.
Thank you for the support you've given us.
Thank you, Gene. That was Gene Cajayon. He is the director of the debut. If you haven't watched this, it came out in 2000, but just as relevant today. Please watch it if you haven't. Maraming salamat po. Magbabalik tayo dito sa Kababayan Today.